Assalamualaikum. My name is Ashita Anisni binti Romli. My metric number is 20204498-136. I am from class BA1183F and my topic of my speech today is a serial killer. My specific purpose is to inform my audience about world famous killer who is Dennis Wilson. Dennis Nilsen was born on 23 November 1945 in Fraserburgh, Aberdeenshire. He is the second of three children born to Elizabeth Dirty White and Olaf Magnus Mosham, who had adopted the surname Nilsen. Nilsen's father was a Norwegian soldier who had travelled to Scotland in 1940 as part of the Free Norwegian Force, following the German occupation of Norway. After a brief courtship, he married Nilsen's mother in May 1942, and the newlyweds moved into her parents' house. In the years following the death of his grandfather, Nilsen became more quiet and withdrawn, often standing alone at the harbour watching the herring boats. At home, he seldom participated in family activities and retreated from any attempts by adult family members to demonstrate any affection towards him. Nilsen grew to resent what he saw as the unfair amount of attention his mother, grandfather, and later the stepfather displayed towards him, older brothers and younger sisters. At the onset of puberty, Nilsen discovered he was gay, which initially confused and shamed him. He kept his sexuality hidden from his family and his few friends, because many of the boys to whom he was attracted had facial features similar to those of his younger sisters, Sylvia. On one occasion, he sexually fondled her, believing that his attraction toward boys might be a manifestation of the care he felt for her. Between 1978 and 1983, Nilsen is known to have killed a minimum of 12 men and boys, and to have them to kill 7 others. He initially confessed in 1983 to having killed about 16 victims. The majority of Nilsen's victims were homeless or gay men. All of Nilsen's murders were committed inside the 2 North London addresses where he resided in the years he is known to have killed. His victims were lured to these addresses through guilt, typically the offer of alcohol and or shelter. Inside Nilsen's home, the victims were usually given food and alcohol, then strangled, typically with a ligature, either to death or until they had become unconscious. If the victim had been strangled into unconsciousness, Nilsen then drowned him in the bathtub, his sink, or a bucket of water before observing a ritual in which he bathed, clothed, and retained the bodies inside his residence for several weeks or, occasionally, months before he dismembered them. Each victim, killed between 1978 and 1981 at his Cricklewood residence, was disposed of via burning upon a bonfire. Prior to their dissection, Nilsen removed their internal organs, which he disposed of either beside a fence behind his flat or close to Gladstone Park. The victims killed in 1982 and 1983 at his Muswell Hill residence were retained at his flat with their flesh and smaller bones flushed down the lavatory. Nilsen admitted to engaging in masturbation as he viewed the nude bodies of several of his victims and to have engaged in sexual acts with 6 of his victims' bodies, but was adamant that he had never penetrated any of his victims. Following his conviction, Nilsen was transferred to HMP Wormwood Scrubs to begin his sentence. As a Category A prisoner, he was assigned his own cell and could mix freely with other inmates. Nilsen did not lodge an appeal, accepting that the Crown's case that he had the capacity to control his action, and that he had killed with premeditation was essentially correct. He further elaborated on the day of his conviction that he took an enormous thrill from the social seduction, the getting the friend back, the decision to kill the body, and its disposal. Nielsen also claimed drunkenness was the sole reason at least 2 of his attempt murders were unsuccessful. In December 1983, Nielsen was cut on the face and chest with a razor blade by an inmate named Albert Moffat, resulting in injuries requiring 89 stitches. Afterward, he was briefly transferred to HMP Parkhurst before being transferred to HMP Wakefield, where he remained until 1990. In 1991, Nielsen was transferred to a vulnerable prisoner unit at HMP Full Sutton upon concern for his safety. In 2003, Nielsen was again transferred to HMP Full Sutton, where he remained incarcerated as a Category A prisoner. In the prison workshop, Nielsen translated books into a Braille. He spent much of his free time reading and writing, and was allowed to paint and compose music upon the keyboard. He also exchanged letters with numerous people who sought his correspondence. Nielsen remained at HMP Full Station until his death on 12 May 2018. That's all from me. Thank you for listening. Bye.